Peace. Yeah, I wanted to go into today something that was very profound, yet it was really simple, but had a lot of meaning to it. And I think that a lot of people can agree with me on this subject. I wanted to go into the idea of conquering the beast within. And what I mean, or what I'm trying to stress and emphasize on this is the lower nature of man and woman, right? Um, Take it to the knowledge that cipher degree in the 1 to 14, where it says, why does Muhammad or any Muslim murder the devil? What is the duty of a Muslim in regards to 4 devil's heads? And what reward does a Muslim receive in bringing and presenting 4 devil's heads at one time? And the answer is, because he's 100% weak and wicked and not keeping obey the laws of Islam. His ways and actions are like a snake if a grafted type. So Muhammad learned he cannot perform the devil, so they have to be murdered. Any Muslim will murder the devil because he knows that he's a snake, and if allowed to live, he will only sting somebody else. Each Muslim is required to bring 4 devil's heads, and by bringing and presenting 4 devil's heads at one time, his reward is a button to wear in the lapel of his coat. Also, free transportation to visit his brother at the holy city of Mecca. Paul himself, also free transportation to the holy city of Mecca to visit his brother Muhammad. Knowledge that cipher degree, which is all being born of knowledge. And one thing I learned in life is that everybody has a beast. Everybody. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's anger. I don't care if it's alcoholism, addiction, a dope addict, crackhead, whatever you are. Everybody has a beast they have to conquer and subdue. The reason why I'm going into this subject is because I think sometimes a lot of people don't take into consideration that they have these problems, and what's end up happening is they become in denial. You know, I mean, there were times in my life where I was in denial about a lot of motherfucking things. I just didn't want to admit shit until I came to grips with myself, like, you know what, this is not even going to help me. It's either going to help me or hurt me. It's either going to make me or break me. So what I decided was just accept the fact that I have this beast and I have to conquer it. So, you know, what I'm in the process of doing now is, you know, I'm learning from everybody else's situation and circumstances in order for me to be wise in my endeavors. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing for sure is that regardless of whom or what, you know, that degree speaks a high volume about conquering the devil or destroying the devil. And the devil is anything that is weak and wicked and is adversarial to what is righteous and just. So, when you think about it, right, think about a time where, you know, you went through a situation in your life and you felt like you couldn't overcome that situation. It felt insurmountable. And the only way that you coped with it was to either deal with substances or just to act out. You know, when I say substance, I'm talking about drugs, alcohol, maybe overindulgence of sex, whatever. You know, that helps you cope with life the best way that you see fit. And you deal with that situation accordingly to how you see fit, and all this is doing is just digging you a hole. It's making things worse. It's not making things better. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people end up envisioning their own demise. They end up envisioning their own demise by constantly engaging and indulging in these useless activities, meaning that, you know, you drink, you pass out, you wake up, and you have blackouts and stuff. Or you smoke crack, you be up all night, then you wake up, and you're like, reality set in. Like, a lot of people don't know how to conquer and overcome the beast from within because they don't know the proper way to do it. So what am I saying is that our lower nature will take the best of us if we don't properly equip ourselves with the right knowledge in order for us to be successful in our undertakings. And our undertakings are situations and circumstances that we go through in order for us to see the end result of what we're looking for. Sometimes a person can be going through so much in their life that they just let that shit or whatever they're dealing with, like drugs or alcohol, master them, and that becomes their God. That's what controls them. That's how they move and function and makes them feel better. But in reality, it's not making you feel better because you still got to face reality, what's real. And the situation is what's real is that you have an issue, you have a problem that you have to face and you have to deal with. And I'm speaking from experience because there's been times in my life where I let shit get the best of me, you know. I was even at a time, when I was 90 quality years old, you know what I'm saying, my old earth passed, I was depressed for 6 months. That shit took a hold of my ass, like, fuck, like, I was like, I didn't want to do nothing, I didn't want to go outside, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to go to bed, I would be up in bed all night just looking at the ceiling in the dark, things of that nature. So, furthermore, that's just one devil. But there's multiple devils that people within themselves have to conquer and subdue and defeat. That's the key thing, defeat. It's alright to subdue and tame it, but and when I say devil, I'm just saying in reference to beast. That's all. In case of y'all think like, oh, he's just talking about beast, but all of a sudden now he's talking about the devil. What is he talking about? Where is he going with this? Alright. So it's important for us to really conquer that beast from within, because when we begin to have an understanding about ourselves and who we are as people and what our problem is, then we can finally face the problem, acknowledge it, and deal with it. There's people that, for instance, and I'm requiring this to the knowledge that's that degree, it's like when you look at the degree, it says because he's 100% weak and wicked and will not keep and obey the laws of Islam. Islam basically means peace, right? In a technical sense, it means peace. It says because he will not keep and obey the laws of Islam, the laws of peace. Peace is order. His ways and actions are like the snake of a grafted type. A snake is one who slithers on his stomach and waits for an attack on his assailant, on his predator, on his prey. You know what I'm saying? So what he does is he lies and wait until the right moment. He doesn't attack soon, and he jumps out at you and stings you and wraps around you and crushes you and then devours you. Then it says, ways national like the snakes of God's type. So Muhammad learned that he cannot reform the devil, so he had to be murdered. Reform means to bring change, basically. When you change stuff, that means that you're bringing forth an evolution, a different type of living, a different type of thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm just breaking the degree down so people can understand where I'm coming from. Because I know people be like, yo, what does he mean by that lesson? Like, you know what I mean? So, to continue what I was saying, so they had to be murdered. Murder means destroy, annihilate, eradicated. It says any Muslim will murder the devil because he knows that he's a snake, and if allowed to live, he will only sting someone else. Now, that part of the degree is very important. I need you to follow me on this, right? He says, any Muslim, any person knows that dealing with drugs is a snake, and if allowed to live, it will only consume you again. So what I'm saying is this: if you know you have a problem and you're dealing with drugs and you keep thinking that drugs are going to solve the problem, it's going to only keep consuming your life, and it's going to keep destroying you slowly and surely. It's a gradual and slow death. So it says, in the decree says, each Muslim is required to bring 4 devil heads, and by bringing and presenting 4 devil heads at one time, his reward is a button to wear the lapel of his coat. A button, you know what I'm saying, the reward is a sign of an achievement, an accomplishment. You overcame, you defeated, you was victorious in your undertakings. And that's what that button symbolizes. That button symbolizes the reward that you get when you defeat these 4 devils. So, you know, going a little further, it says, a reward to wear his button to wear on the lapel of his coat. Also free transportation to the holy city of Mecca to visit his brother Muhammad. Now the holy city of Mecca, Mecca means paradise. The paradise is a place of heaven, happiness. You know what I'm saying? Take it to the Kosher Cipher degree, and in 140 it says, what will be your reward in regards to the destruction of the devil? Peace and happiness. I will give all that I have and all within my power to see this day in which I've waited 379 years. You see what I'm saying? When you begin to conquer these devils, you bring forth peace and happiness in your life. But if you do not conquer these devils, you will only bring destruction and demise on your own life situation and circumstances, and it will not get any better. That's what I wanted to. That's what I'm talking about today. Defeating the devil and conquering the beast, which is all one and the same. You know, sometimes you have to tame the beast. You know what I'm saying? Having anger problems, alcohol problems, dope dealing problems, being a drug dealer. You gotta turn that shit around, man. You gotta make that shit different. You gotta do something different, positive and constructive with your shit. You can't be just expecting that these things are going to help you cope with life, because in reality, they're not going to help you cope with anything except what you so-called think you're going to cope with. That's just the reality of life itself. So, I just wanted to go into that because I felt like it was really important to understand. Because remember, knowledge at a cipher degree and the supreme alphabet is justice. Justice is the one who rewards the penalties for their acts of deeds. And who gets that reward of that penalty? Which is all being born of knowledge. It's you. Because you the one. You the one that brought this about yourself. You're the one that's going to fix it. You created the problem, now you solve the problem. Feel me? So, you know, with that being said, I just want to go into that science real quick. And just let y'all know, yo, just take the time sometimes to realize, like, yo, your life situation and circumstances is not as bad as what you think it is. They're not roadblocks, they're challenges. You know, they're challenges. I always learned this one, right? And this is a good jewel to keep. And, you know, you could take this with you. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Let me repeat that. A setback is a setup for a comeback. And that's all I'm going to say about that one. So, until then, take it easy. Enjoy this beautiful day. And I'll be with you guys in the near future. So I'm about to get ready to head on to the lab, chill with my babies, and enjoy my life. And enjoy the rest of this Good Friday. No, I'm not talking about April either. But take it easy, alright? Peace.